So yesterday I said I was going to just spend the entire day getting things listed today, and I did not do that. This morning I woke up and I don't know why, I just checked Craigslist to see if there were any garage sales listed. It's pretty late in the season. It's already October 25th, so pretty late. Usually these sales are over before you get into October. But weather has been pretty mild here through most of September, and it's getting pretty cold now right now. I had to put on my winter coat today, but I'm not sure why, but some people were definitely having some sales today. So I went out, I hit up about, I don't know, 3 or 4 garage sales, and then I stopped at an estate sale as well. So I am going to show you everything that I got at those sales in a second. But first, I'm going to tell you that today has finally, like, things have started to turn around. At least today, we had a very, very good sales day. Like, not that many items sold. I think it's only 4 things that are going to get packed up tonight. But they're all, mostly they are pretty, like, higher value items. So got a pretty decent amount of money coming in today. It's not quite enough to push over the edge for our, my target for each day. I'm trying to hit an average price, an average profit every day of the month of $193. And I think we're going to be pretty close to that, but still under it by the time we're done paying for shipping labels tonight. So I'm going to show you these 6 or 7, maybe 8 items I picked up today. Then I'm going to go in the kitchen, pack up today's orders, and then we'll just break down profits and see how close we are to that target for the month. And let's guess it's going to be 179. I should write that down. My prediction: profit average 179. It needs to be 193. Remember, so we need to have a few more good days of sales to get to this 193. But anyway, let's see what I got today, and then let's go pack that stuff up and then see how much money we made. All right, I got everything I picked up today laid out here. So let's start on this side. This came from the estate sale. This is a pair of pinking shears. These ones, Jessica told me that they're for cutting edges so that they don't fray. I don't know. My mom used to use these all the time. She would use them in my hair to try to keep my hair from looking too straight. You know, if she cut my hair, she didn't want to have a crisp edge. She would use one of these to make it look a little crooked. This is a brand called Ginger. Well-respected brand, and these are vintage. I don't know how old they are, but this kind of cardboard box looks pretty old. This looks a little more modern. I don't know how old they are, but I averaged out everything I got from the estate sale at about $3 a piece. So maybe like $3.35 or something, but we'll just say $3 for the sake of simplicity. So these were about $3. They'll sell for about 30. So pretty good. I think they have a good sell-through rate as well. This came from a garage sale, and most of that stuff at that sale was only $2. So this is a vintage MP3 player, Sansa Clip. Has the instruction manual, but no box. It looks to me like the way this cord is wrapped, that this thing has never been used, and there's no evidence that this has any MP3s on it. I don't know what year this is. Probably, maybe it's on here somewhere. But vintage anyway. You know, this is kind of stuff that, for whatever reason, people are still into. If you could find one of these brand new sealed, you might be looking at close to $300, maybe like $280. A used one that works is like maybe 50 or 60. Since this one is so clean, and I'm gonna say that it's like probably never been used. I'm gonna try to get 75 for that, and I paid $2 for it, so pretty good. I'm always looking for these old MP3 players, and I don't find them that much, but this will be a good one. This thing came from a different garage sale. I paid $20 for it, and it's like a tester for vacuum tubes. I don't know how old it is. Some of the listings online said from the 60s, but this doesn't look like it's that old to me. I don't know. There's none listed right now. There are people just selling the instruction manual for this for $15, $20. There are quite a few that have sold, but none listed. So basically $150 to $200. I'm going to try. I had it like 129 because I didn't want to be greedy, and then I thought, well, there's no competition right now, so I bumped it up to 160. So I'll get that listed as soon as I can, and then we'll see if we can get $160 for it. This one is questionable, little Sony micro cassette recorder. These things are sought after. I don't know. I think people might use these for ghost hunting bullshit, but this one, I put batteries in it and it doesn't seem to power on. So I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit more to see if I can't get it working. Because if it's working, it's probably maybe 60 bucks. I got 4 tapes, 1 inside and then 3 right here. I think I could get 60 for it if it works, but if it doesn't work, we're probably gonna just try to sell it for parts or for repair. I paid $2 for it, two something for it, you know. This came from the garage sale. Same story. I averaged everything out, so it's like $2.28 or something like that. Man, I'd love to be able to get $60 for it, but I think we're probably looking at like 9 or 10. You know, if we're lucky, we find somebody who wants to buy it. This came from the same garage sale, brand new, sealed. This is a Life Straw bag that has a filter built into it, like one of those squeezable bottle, like a bag-shaped bottle. That's not really clear what I mean, but it's like a little camping bottle, and it has the filters built in that filters out heavy metals, bacteria, chemicals. So if you're out camping and you want to drink some dirty water, this should theoretically save your life. I paid $2 for it. I think I'll get 25. We'll see. The crescent wrench came from the estate sale, so this is about $3. I didn't find one exactly like this, the 12-inch one with a red plastic dipped handle, but other ones that don't have the handle are easily selling between $20 and $30. This one looks like it's never really been used. I would say it's never been used, honestly. It has no scratches or anything on it, so I'm going to try to get 30 for that. I paid $3. I got another Sony item here. This is a CD player, vintage one, of course. It doesn't say Walkman on it, but oh, it does say Walkman on it. Sony Walkman D-NF340. So again, I have not tested this yet. I didn't even put batteries in it, but if this works, we're probably looking at, without a box or anything, maybe $75 to $100, I think. It has a little controller. This looks like it would be like an earpiece, but it's just like a wired remote to change the channels and change the skip forward on tracks or whatever. I got to get some batteries in here and get a CD out and test that, because if it works, it's going to be a good value. If it doesn't work, again, maybe 10, 12, maybe $20 for repair. In this box is something called a crock stick. It's a 2-stage knife sharpening system. I think these things come out of here and then go up into these holes somehow, and then you would put your knife in there. Also scissors, I guess. I don't know exactly how this works, and it's not worth a huge amount of money. Even if it was in perfect condition, I think we'd be looking at like 40 bucks, maybe 50 if it was a good day. But this is supposed to have like a little plastic shield here to protect your hand. You hold it here and it keeps your hand from getting cut while you're slicing and dicing and sharpening up this set of knives or whatever. So I'm gonna start this at 30 as a parts or repair situation, and then I paid $3 for it, so that would be 10 times my money if I can't get it. No, I think it's probably, what I'm trying to say is I think it's probably worth 30 to 40 if it was brand new, and I mean not brand new but complete. Since it's not, I'm just gonna try to get I'll try to get 17. I'll be okay with that. This is a Chicago Med hat from the TV show, and on the back here it says film crew from season 1. It's anybody's guess if this is something special. It feels like it would be. Like, these things have got to be limited. You know how many people were on that crew? Just 100, couple hundred? I don't know. Clearly brand new, never been worn. So I paid $3 for this at that estate sale. There is one coat from, I think it's from Chicago PD. You know, there's a whole series of these shows set in Chicago. What's his name? Is it Dick Francis? I'm not sure. The producer of those shows. Anyway, they're big popular shows. Are they on CBS, I think? Again, I don't know that. But that jacket sold for like 75, or maybe it was 175. I can't remember. There's some of these listed that are similar to this, but they don't have this crew thing on the back, and they're just listed for like $12. I don't know. I mean, this could be worth $100. I really just don't know. I'm going to list it at 30 and just try to get somebody to buy it as quickly as possible. And then finally, I guess this is probably the best pickup of the day. Brand new, still sealed Sony Walkman. Does this have a year on it? I don't see one quickly. Anyway, this one, since it's sealed, is pretty good profit on this. I paid $3 for it, like mostly everything else here. And I think I'm going to list it at 130, try to move it quickly, but I think you probably could get as much as a 180 for it if you find one of these that's sealed. If you find one that's not sealed, if it works, you know, you can do pretty well on those too. The good thing about this is I just don't know if it works. There's no way to know. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Like if somebody buys this and they want to send it back, I might be getting myself in trouble. But I'm going to sell this for $130, and I bet it sells in less than a week. Oh, it's got a TV tuner, so you can listen to TV on it. Oh, that's cool. Okay, anyway, that's a good one. A good old Sony cassette tape Walkman. So that's it. Everything that I picked up today. Okay, so now let's quickly run into the kitchen. There's 4 orders to pack. I think some of them are going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt to do, so it might take a little while, but hopefully not too long. It is already pretty late tonight. It's not that late, but it's around 9. So I'm going to get those orders packed, and then I'm going to just try to let myself relax for the rest of the night. I've been relaxing most of the day. It's been nice hanging out with Jessica. We've just been sitting around watching TV. And basically that's the entire day, except for I was out for about 45 minutes shopping for this stuff, maybe an hour and a half. Anyway, let's go pack that stuff up. Okay, I pulled these 4 orders and we're gonna go through them in order of value. Starting with this, that's a timing light. I've done some car stuff. You know, my dad used to work on cars all the time, and I would sit there and work with him. And one of the most important people in my life, you know, an older guy who looked out for me when I was younger. He was a mechanic, and those guys are talking about timing lights all the time, and I never really understood what it does. I'm guessing it's just like flashes at a certain frequency so that you can see the speed of a belt moving inside of a car. These days, I don't know if cars even have belts. So I don't know anything about timing lights, if they're worth messing around with or not, but I grabbed this one at a garage sale a little while ago, maybe a few months ago. Let's see. In June, I got this for $5 at a garage sale. It was a little bit higher than I would like to have paid because it's really only worth like $15. I sold it for $16.99, but I was buying some other stuff at that sale that had some higher value, so I went ahead and paid the $5 for this, knowing that I was going to make a lot more money on some of the other things that I got there. So yeah, $5 for this, sold it for $17. That's not really the kind of return on investment I get excited about, but it's not nothing. You know, it's money. We'll take it, and it'll help get us towards our goal, I think. Okay, that one's sealed up. Let's get some tape on here. And the other stuff I bought there was mostly like designer sweaters and stuff that I don't know if those things ever sold or not, but I can't remember. I felt like I was going to make a lot of money at that sale, so I took a little risk on buying this timing light. All right, I'm going to write timing on here. Move this. This is 1 pound 8, 13 by 11 by 3, and it's going to FH in PA, Pennsylvania. So there we go. That's out of the way. All right, next up, I've got this whole set of, these are Foxfire books. So they're like, there was some guy who had some sort of a camp, like a sort of a survivalist thing. So they have these, they would have people come there and teach them about like how to build a fire, how to fish, you know, like traditional stuff. And then along the way, they collected all that information into a book. The first Foxfire book was a pretty big hit, and so they just kept making them. So I think this is the entire set, actually. I'm not totally sure about that, but I think it is. And if these were all the same edition, you know, if they were the hardcovers, I've got a mix of like hardcovers, paperbacks. Even the paperbacks are from different years and stuff. If I had the original, like if they were all the same, it would probably have sold for quite a lot more and a lot quicker. In this case, I have this since when? Really not that long, just since July, but I really expected them to sell within days, not within months. It's coming up at the end of October now, so these have been sitting right. I left them right on the counter over here because I thought they were going to sell fast enough that I didn't even bother trying to put them away. But took a little while, and they sold for $114.74. So this would have been a sale item, and I think I also sent 10% offer on it. So I shored up the corners of these boxes a little, or this box a little, with some extra cardboard to protect that, make it a little bit sturdier. And I'm probably going to wrap this with, what's that tape? The fiberglass reinforced tape, to try to make sure that it does not split open during delivery. This was fitting in here a minute ago. It was pretty much exactly, 2 stacks were exactly level. Now I'm having a hard time making them line up. There we go, we're getting somewhere. I'm gonna have to put some paper in here. I guess that's okay. So I'll put some paper down here on this end. It's pretty tight. It's not that, there's not that much void to fill here, but I'm gonna fill it the best I can. And then some right here on the top as well. And then I put a layer of cardboard in the bottom here to give it like a little extra heaviness. And I'm flapping these up, you know, I'm doubling up these flaps. You know, that's gonna get multiple flaps this way and multiple flaps this way. They're gonna overlap a lot to give this thing even more strength. And it's not, I didn't get those books lined up, stacked up perfectly, because this thing is going to be bulging a little bit, but not so much that it will be a problem, I don't think. So yeah, I'll get this taped up, and then I'll cut the camera and put that fiberglass tape on, just to give it a little fighting chance that the weight of these books won't split the box open while it's in the process of being delivered. This box is Foxfire. It weighs 19 pounds. It's pretty heavy. It's gonna be 15 by 11 by 8. 15, 8. It's going to, I hope it's close by. Oh yeah, it is, in Illinois. Good. This is way down at the southern end of the state, and I'm way at the top end, but still, that's going to be much closer than, I don't know. I assumed it was going to go to California or Oregon. Anytime I have something that's heavy or fragile or questionable about shipping, it always ends up going to the farthest possible state. But this time we made out okay. All right, I'm going to put some of that fiberglass tape on. I'll be right back. Okay, that's all strapped up. So this stuff is very, very strong. There's no way it's going to split open now. All right, next up, I think this just got listed yesterday or the day before, maybe. This is Mega Block set from Halo, the video game, Microsoft game. Somebody bought this at Ross Dress for Less for 30 bucks. I don't know when or how long ago, but I got this at the Salvation Army, and this just came out of my death pile a week ago or something. I'm getting, that pile is actually much smaller than I thought it was. So I pulled that out of there. It's worth a good amount of money. I sold this for $162 plus shipping. I paid $6 for it at the Salvation Army. It's brand new, still sealed, so that's probably why it's getting a decent amount of money. I don't know, probably, maybe it sells okay without being brand new, but this one is brand new, so I was really excited when I bought this, and I don't know why it took me so long to get it listed, but I just stuck it in that closet. It's been there for at least a year. Unfortunately, I don't have any records of when I bought this, so I don't know how long it's actually been here. But I do know I paid $6 for it because it still had a price tag. I'm making this box a little shorter, and then trying to decide. Like this sold for $162. It's not nothing. I probably should put some bubble wrap around it, but it's not gonna really protect it too much, but we'll do it anyway. Hopefully a customer will be happy to see it's wrapped a little bit when they receive it. So I'm just gonna wrap it one direction and then put some paper around it as well. Masking tape. So let me get a big piece of paper. I wanna put some bunches, some bundles, some wads of paper down here. I've been going through paper really quickly these days. It is a lot cheaper than bubble wrap. Okay, more paper. I don't know how big this box is gonna end up being. I'm assuming this is going to be able to go regular USPS, but it might end up going FedEx or UPS if it's too big. All right, there we go, good. Fold this up. Let's put that under. Then I don't have to worry about covering these labels. Okay, $161.99. So that alone, like this, either one of these last two sales is more money than I've made on any day this week, any whole day. So these are some big sales for me. This could be my highest profit day of the year. I think it might be. Okay, let's see. I'm covering up this Amazon tape. I usually do just to make sure it's going to be stable. Okay, Halo. Let's get a weight on that. It's pretty light. 4 pounds 6. 20. Oh, it's exactly 22, which I think is the cutoff for USPS before it goes into oversized shipping. 22 by 17, and then this is going to be like 4 or 5. And who's the buyer? Oh, this is going Hawaii. Wow, Hawaii. I don't send that much stuff to Hawaii, and the last time I sent something, it was about the same price as this. I think it was like 159, and I think it took 4 weeks. This buyer's initials are TL. I think it took 4 weeks before, like it just kind of was in limbo for 4 weeks, and the buyer was asking me if there's anything I could do. I put in a missing mail search, and then I didn't hear anything about that for like a week. So then I just put in a claim, an insurance claim, and then a couple of days after that, it started moving again in the tracking. So it was a fishing reel. It eventually did get delivered, but it took quite a while. All right, now the big sale of the day. These are some vintage books, like teen adventure books from the 60s. This is Rick Brandt. This would be sort of like in the vein of the Hardy Boys, or maybe, what was that one kid's name? I can't remember. I got a bunch of these kind of books at a garage sale, and I sold some of them already for a pretty good amount of money. I don't remember the exact amount. And then this set sold today, a lot of 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Rick Brandt science adventure books from the 1960s. I paid $20 for these 11 books, and they sold for $550 today. So I'm going to put them in this box and get them nice and tight in here, and then I'm going to double box this, because for $550 I don't want there to be any possibility of any damage while these things are being delivered. I'm just thinking about cutting this box down, shrinking it a little bit, and now I think I might just put paper in there instead. It's such a small amount that I would be lowering it just like less than an inch, that I think I'll just put paper in there, and then I'm going to put this inside a 12 by 12 by 12 box and paper all around, and I'm going to insure this $550. The most the USPS will pay for ground advantage if you don't put your own insurance on it is $100. So I'm going to cover my bases here, and I'm going to put some kind of insurance on this. Let me get a 12 by 12 by 12 box, and I'll be right back. Let's just put these in here carefully. They might not fill this perfectly, but it's going to be pretty. So we'll get these little bit of gap filled up with paper, and the top as well filled with paper. Close it up. This box is going to be inside another box, so it doesn't have to be taped up perfectly, but might as well do it. All right, let's get this big box here. I don't usually like filming these bigger boxes because they just block out the whole view of the camera, but we'll try to do this as quickly as possible. I will lower this box down a little just for the sake of it, because it doesn't need all of that space at the top and the bottom. So how much can we lower it? Like, actually, that's pretty close. Ouch. I don't mind if this is a little bit expensive because I'm making such a big profit on this. So it'll be okay. I'll just pay the little bit extra for a bigger box and be sure that these books arrive safely. I mean, those other books were $100, 120 or something. I probably could have double box those for that kind of a profit, because I got those books for free. I didn't even pay anything for it. All right, let's see. Get that in there and get some paper on these sides. On these other sides, I'm going to use those air bubbles these skinny sides I put paper, and then these thicker sides I'm going to put a couple of these big bubbles if they'll fit. I think one will fit, and one will fit over here, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Okay, and then paper on the top. I know this view stinks, so sorry. So this will also have all this extra layers of cardboard flaps on the top to really protect this set of books. So I can't remember what I had. I had a full set of Hardy Boys from this time period, and then I had some kind of inkling that these books were valuable, and I found these at a garage sale. When was this? Not that long ago. In September, middle of September. There was a set of like 5 or 6 of one series that I can't remember right now, and those sold for a couple $100 just for those 5 or 6 books. And then these have been sitting for about a month waiting for somebody to buy them. Then the other ones I have are Alfred Hitchcock 3 Investigators, and I have those listed. I can't remember. I think I started them at $1,200 just on the chance that somebody would be willing to pay that. It's a little bit complicated because there's different editions of these books, and some of them are super valuable and they don't have any real, like, clear, super obvious differences between the ones that are a little less valuable. But some of those books are a couple $100 a piece, those Alfred Hitchcock 3 Investigator mystery books. So I think I lowered the price on that down to $800. But if I could get $800, I probably paid $22 for the whole box. All right, what is this guy's name? Rick Brandt Science Adventures. That's only 11 books for $550. Crazy. 12 by 12 by 10. Let's see, where is this going? I think it's going to like Ohio. Ohio, yep. Ohio to OH. Oh, it's going to Ohio, and which is OH, and the buyer's initials are OH. So that guy is extra lucky. Okay, I'm going to buy labels for these 4 boxes, and then we'll be right back. Okay, just as I was buying labels, another order came in. So it's down here in this closet under this bottom shelf, and I'm going to have a hard time finding a box for these, but I'll have to go look around. So I'm going to go look for boxes, and then I'll come back and talk to you about these snorkeling fins. Okay, so what I have here is a set of swimming fins. It says Quattro Avanti Quattro small open heel scuba fins. I don't know anything about scuba fins, but I got these from a guy. Well, this is a guy who does a lot of listing on, he sells a lot of stuff through a relatively local online auction house. So every time I bought stuff from him and I talk to him, he complains about how little he's making on this stuff. And I'm trying to tell him, it's because you're selling it through an online local auction house. Like, this company doesn't have the reach of something like eBay. And if you want to, I mean, I've offered to show him how to do some stuff, and he's just like, nah, I'm just going to keep doing things the way I know how to do them. So he can't complain too much, but it's just sort of a side thing for him. He's a real estate agent, and he was telling me about some real estate deal he was working on that was like a $40 million kind of a giant industrial complex, and he was probably going to make like $4 million profit by the time it was all done. I'm not too worried about him not making enough money on some used fins. So I think these might have been his snorkeling fins, because the first time I dealt with him, I was supposed to be calling him. The auction house gave me his number and told me to call him to set up a time to go and pick up the items that I won from the auction. And I couldn't get through to him. He wouldn't answer his phone, and it turned out it was because he was in Mexico, Cabo San Lucas or something like that. I'm not sure where he was, but he was down there on the beach somewhere. So I'm guessing he might have been scuba diving, because I got these fins from him, and I also got a scuba diving vest, like something you can attach your tank and stuff to. So anyway, I paid about $8 for these. I've had them since August, so not that long ago, really, the grand scheme of things. I paid $8. Well, maybe I didn't. Maybe he just gave these to me, because I have $0 here in the cost of goods. Let me see what I have on my spreadsheet. My spreadsheet, I have $8.86, so somewhere I got something wrong. I'm going to assume I spent $8.86 on these. You start to forget things, moving around as much garbage as I am, selling and trading. it's hard to keep track of what's what, but I think I spent close to $9 for these. Sold them for $50 today. And I just Frankenstein these two boxes together. Actually came out okay. I thought it was gonna look pretty junky, but I think it actually looks kind of nice. Not too bad. So I don't know what we're gonna make on these after fees and everything. So if I paid $9 and I sold them for $50, we're looking at basically $40 right there. Then eBay fees. So maybe we'll make $28 on these. So that's the next step here in the process. I'm going to buy labels for now 5 boxes, and then come back and I'll tell you exactly how much profit we made on all of these things. So stick around for that. I'll be right back. All right, we ended up with 5 boxes. 2 of these are going to go to FedEx. I think the good thing about that is I can deliver those on Sunday. FedEx is open on Sunday, so they'll get to where they're going a little bit faster. I really wish this wasn't going to Hawaii, but well, we're just going to send it and hope for our best. And then I did get insurance on those books. That was for $550. It was about $8 extra to add insurance. So I was thinking about lowering it down to like a $400 value and see how cheap the insurance would be, but I think it was going to be like $5. So I just decided to spend the extra $3 and cover myself completely. I don't anticipate there's going to be any issues, but you never know. Okay, let's quickly go through profits. And I'm going to try to go through these in order of lowest to highest profit. So the Sun Pro Action timing light that we packed up earlier, it's right here in this box, $8.69 profit. The swim fins that the order just came in, $34.29 profit. What's next? The Foxfire books, it's a set of 8 books, $104 even. Then the Halo Mega Block set, $132.49. And finally, 1960s Rick Brand Science Adventure set of 11 books. That earned me a profit of $440.97. So yesterday we only earned $87, and the day before that $34, the day before that $9.15. So it's been a pretty bad week, really, and our average profit per day was like $225 at the end of last weekend, and it's all the way down to $163 right now. So it's really taken a hit with all of these low days. But now, after today, we're still not quite at 193, but we earned $720.44 today profit. It's only 9:45, so maybe a couple more orders could come in before 2 a.m. Anyway, average profit per day for the month of October has jumped up to $186.19. So we're still a few dollars away from the 193 that I need, but let's see. If we sold 250, we'd have to sell several days of like $200 profit. How many? A lot. We need to make over $1,000 more this month. Let's just see what happens if we put in 1, 2, 3. Let's see. I want to try to see if we made, oh, dang it, this is supposed to clear. There it goes. If we made another $1,000 this month, we would be well over the average profit per day, but I don't think we're going to get there. I think we're probably going to be right around 175. What did I say earlier? I was betting on 179. That's what I wrote down on here. I thought we would get $179 average profit, and we're way up to 186. So I underestimated. But anyway, we still have a little bit more work to do. So hopefully we will get there. And ideally this month we're over that $193 average profit per day. But if we don't make it, we'll be okay, because November and December are typically much higher profit months. So it's very possible. I'm feeling like optimistic now that we could get to this $50,000 goal for the year. If we don't make it, we don't make it, but I'm feeling a little optimistic after today. But I've said that before, and I've felt less optimistic shortly after saying that. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that we're going to do okay for the rest of the month. But right now I'm happy. $720 profit today is more than I usually make. I think that's probably the highest profit day this year. If not, maybe it's the second highest or the third highest, but pretty good. I'm happy. So thanks for watching. That's it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll be packing up everything that's going to get shipped out on Monday. So join me for that.